Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled Intuitive Healing with May Levy. You can find her work at deepintuitivehealing.com. Let's give her a big warm welcome back to the show. May, how's it going?
Hello, everyone. It's been quite a week, Jean-Claude.
Has it?
It has been a week. I think that the planetary system, whatever is happening up there, is really puppeting a lot of things. And energy has been an interesting thing also with sessions, also with my personal life. And I wonder if everybody out there is feeling the same way. But
Oh, they are for sure, because I've done a couple of shows this week and everybody in the chat is like, what the hell's going on? And of course, last night in the show with Janine, we were talking about, hey, don't forget, guys, this is a retrograde, and retrogrades have a certain feel to them. And so don't be surprised if a lot of your normal routines might be disrupted, or how some of these energies
I
are
hear
bringing
you
up old programs.
twice.
Okay, so you might have another window open on your end.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. That was something. I rest my case.
It's a retrograde, folks. So there you go.
This has
I could barely
happened.
remember my name last night, and it's like
Wow.
my universal translator wasn't working by the end of the show. I did, I think, 3 or 4 shows with the pay-per-views yesterday, and I'm like, oh my god, and see, I have the wrong title up here. It's not a special report; it's a deep woo-woo. So you guys, I'm human. It's weird. It is weird. Well, talk about some of your experiences this week. You mentioned some of the client work. How is that different? You talked about maybe some weird things happening. What can you share?
Well, yesterday, I think I'm going to share. I hope that the person that I had a session with yesterday, if she's on live, I'm not going to say your name, just I'm going to share the story because it was really significant for me because it was something new that I've never experienced. Normally, I scan a client before I work on them. And the reason I do that is to know exactly what's going to happen in the session. So there won't be surprises, because I work with spirits and I work with different things. So when I scanned her, all I picked up was the throat and the third eye. And she did say she had thyroid problems. And remind me, I want to talk about that also. We're going to get into another story with thyroid issues in just a minute. But it made sense to me. Okay, she had thyroid issues, third eye, throat. It made sense. So we're starting to work together. And in the middle of the session, I feel pain in my heart. I mean, this kind of heaviness. And I asked her what is associated with that heaviness, with the pain. And she said that something with the government and taxes and stress. So I removed that. And then when we continued the session, I still felt that heaviness. So she mentioned that her husband died a year ago. And she also said in the same room where she sleeps. And I asked her if she wanted to do soul fragment restoration with the husband. And she said yes. So we started that process, which took me quite a lot longer than a normal process. And I didn't understand why. It took like 20 minutes just to do that. Normally it doesn't take that long. And then when I asked her if she wanted to cut vows and contracts and soul and karmic unresolved karma, she also said yes. And then when I went into that procedure, it also was very resistant and heavy. And I couldn't understand why it's taking so long. We reached 5 minutes before the session ends. And as that started, like right when I'm supposed to cut the session off and start, bringing the energy back to self and disconnecting the energy, I start releasing this entity. And I'm like feeling really heavy and an energy that doesn't want to leave. So I stopped it in the middle because I had another session that I needed to get into. And when I got off the phone with her, it didn't want to leave my body. And it was making it very clear that it's not going anywhere. There's different kind of energies that I work with. There's energies that are aware of themselves and the ones that are not. The ones that aren't are really easy to release and it doesn't take me long. And the ones that don't want to leave, those are the ones I struggle with and have a lot more like negotiate. It's like you have to negotiate with them if they. So I found myself getting up from the chair and my body couldn't even walk properly. This is something I've never experienced before. I have experienced situations with entities, but not one that was like really, I could feel it like almost take over my body that I couldn't walk. And when I sat with this energy, in the beginning, I was commanding it aggressively, like, you got to leave. And then later it shifted into, okay, you're loved. And, I started coming from a place of love and asking for assistance from the angels. Eventually it left. I went back to automatic writing to ask if she has an entity or like, what was that? And I received that was her spirit of her husband that was scared to go to the light. And she had a pocket in her heart for space for it to enter. So it's actually stayed in her heart. And the reason why it was so hard to release the vows and the contracts, because it was living in her.
Wow.
So that was something I have never experienced before. And like, I was blown. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Wow. Yeah.
I've been extremely tired ever since that happened. That happened just last evening. And I'm learning so much now that I'm working with a huge amount of people. I'm just learning as I go. And it's just amazing the things that I'm tapping into. And when I called her and told her the story, she said that her husband, he died from cancer. And when he died, he was making it very clear that he doesn't want to go and that he's afraid to leave. So she really resonated with what I said.
Wow, that's craziness.
I know.
Well, crazy and not crazy, really. When you like, this is a woo show, but that, like, wow, okay. I've seen some weird stuff in some client work before too, but that's like, this thing you said about having trouble walking. I've had that happen once or twice. It's like my legs were like cement blocks, like.
It felt like I had no bones and my body was just like I had a worm inside. And I was like, what is happening? Am I ever going to be back to normal? Like, for one moment, I was worried. Like, I was really worried. Yeah. Wow. Well, welcome to May's
Jim
world.
In the chat says he has a thyroid problem.
Okay.
And let's see here. And wait, I just came off the buffer. Sorry, Jim. I wanted to bring your comment up. But Laura says, Jim, yeah, book a session with May. So what type of session were you doing with this lady? For you to get into this husband in her heart? Was it theta?
That was well, we did both. So she booked an intuitive healing session, but when I was in there, when I'm in an energy body, when I'm tapped in, so what happens, my body becomes their body, and I see and I feel everything as if I am in their body. It's an interesting experience. So when I felt that heaviness and she said her husband, I used theta healing to do the soul fragment retrieval, or not retrieval, restoration, and the whole vows and contracts and cutting agreements. They're tools that I learned in theta healing. I just do it in the middle of the session if it's needed. So sometimes I combine theta healing with intuitive healing, if that makes sense. So just going with my guidance, and that's what I decided to do.
And for the audience members who want to book with you, do you still have a coupon code that's valid for BeyondMystic?
BeyondMystic, all capital letters.
Okay, very good. Let me bring that link down for the chat for the guys too. And look, there's 3 or 4 people. Lisa, Beth, everybody's talking about having thyroid issues. And you asked me to bring you back on that topic here. I wrote it down. Yes. What's going on with all these thyroid issues?
Well, this is going to be part of the topic. This is going to be a great introduction to the topic that I want to speak about today. Again, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Years ago, I would say 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, maybe less. I don't know. I was living in Israel in my mom's house, and my mom went to the doctor, a Western doctor, and the doctor said that she had thyroid problems, that she won't be able to heal it. And that's it. And she's going to be like that forever. And she's going to be on medicine, like not their medicine, like their prescriptions. And at the time, my mother was a theta healer. She still is. And she knows about vibration and sound and healing. And so she, at the time, I came home one day and I saw, like the old computer, like a computer on her desktop and a bunch of water bottles, plastic. It wasn't even like, it was plastic water bottles next to the computer, maybe 10 of them. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? And she goes, well, I'm putting these sound binaural beats. They're called binaural beats on YouTube. She didn't even put it very loud. She put it low. She put the bottles next to the speaker, and she just drank that water for 3 months. And after 3 months of drinking just that water, she went to the doctor, and the doctor said, how did you heal yourself? Everything was gone, and it was all complete healing. And she healed herself with water and sound. So
okay. Hold on. If I were listening to the channel, I'll say, okay, rewind the tape. What did she just say? So go back to what sound she was using to charge the water first. Explain that a little bit more.
Binaural beats.
Okay.
It's a frequency. There's different ones. It's so available on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and there's just different, you can write thyroid healing binaural beats, and a bunch of them are going to pop up. If you want to do heart healing, chakra healing, a lot of them are going to pop up. Actually, when I had my Kundalini awakening, I was listening to Kundalini binaural beats while I was meditating, and I had my awakening. So very useful to sound, vibration, and water. Our body is 70% water, and our cells are living organisms like cells. They have water in them. And so when we bring sound into healing, that's why light language and overtone singing is so effective. I always tell clients to come hydrated and drink a lot of water after the session, because the sound causes the cells to vibrate. And when we drink water and hydrate, it works faster to heal the body.
Wow. Okay. So I just typed what you just said into YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube, binaural beats.
Yeah. Let me bring that down for the audience here. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is the video, guys. I'm just doing this live with you guys. But as an example, something to look into. Wow, that's fascinating. And now, was she using specifically binaural beats that were designed for the thyroid problem, or did she use the gamut of different ones?
No, I believe it was specifically for thyroid. There's different ones. You can look it up. Yeah, I think that if you look for the specific thing that you're looking for, there's a certain frequency that works on it. By the way, I work with a device called Healy. I don't know if anybody knows about Healy, but it's another idea. It's the same idea. It's a little pocket. I can show it next session. I don't have it right here with me at this moment, but it's a little device that you connect to yourself, and it connects to your phone, and it also scans your body to see all the imbalances from your aura, your organs, your biogenetics, all these things that your body functions on, and it tells you what's in balance. And then there's a program that runs the vibration, and you put electrodes on you, and then the vibration starts to heal you. It's also based on vibration, and I don't know about sound, but vibration.
Frequency is everything.
Frequency is everything.
Yeah. You know, I had a dream of you doing singing bowls, and I saw you like with extreme clarity. And so I know at some point you're gonna use singing bowls in your repertoire. So that's interesting too, because in Dr. Emoto's experience, also he's pumping different frequencies into water, and water is organizing itself into these magnificent, beautiful structures. And of course, we are made of water. And when you use these ugly frequencies, of course, the structures break down into ugliness. So there's something to this, folks. Now, going back again too, she said she was charging the water with sound. Okay. How far away? Was it plastic bottles? What kind of speakers? It
was plastic. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even like glass bottles. It was back like in Israel, people are not very conscious. Maybe better now, but like with bottles of water, like a lot of plastic is used there. And back then, definitely my mom was using plastic, and she was just regular plastic bottle. And I'm saying use plastic. I'm just saying that it worked even with plastic. And she put it next to her old speakers, just regular old speakers, and an old computer. And she put 10 bottles. And I was like, what is she doing? Like, I didn't even understand this concept back then. And I thought she was a little woo-woo.
Right.
Look at her daughter today. Yeah.
She ain't got nothing on you, man.
She was so hyped when, when she healed herself. I remember her being so fascinated and so like happy, just be like, I'm healed.
Hold on a second here. I want to get this straight for the audience. Okay, so 10 bottles of water in front of this speaker. And how long was she subjecting each bottle to this sound for, on average?
Maybe we should get her on the show. I don't remember. I think she was just using that. She was just drinking water in a regular day, but it was always that water. She didn't touch any water that wasn't charged.
Wow.
With the vibration. Yeah.
And how long did it take?
3 months.
3 months. And so she had some exams 3 months prior, then the 3 months go back. And
the months prior, the doctor said she's never going to heal herself, like in that exaggeration. And then 3 months later, she came back and it was healed. And he was like, what did you do?
Right. I didn't use mainstream medicine. I didn't do that.
I didn't listen to you, sir. I didn't listen to you.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that crazy? Wow.
It is crazy. And so I just talked to this client yesterday with the thyroid, and I told her to do the same thing. And I also gave her like art activations. So when I work with people, I make art activations. They're like symbols that have a frequency to them and a resonance to them. And a lot of the times they have different instructions. A lot of the times it's like put it under the bed for a certain amount of days and then release it with gratitude. Or if somebody has energy that still needs to be released, I get instructions to burn it after 3 days. But a lot of the times I also get put this under water, charge the water and drink only that water for 3 months or for a year. And then I tell people to laminate it and then put it under their big water jug, wherever their big source of water is, and use that. So also symbolism is very powerful to water as well.
Well, yeah, and in sacred geometry. So if you place like geometric forms in the water, they'll take and remember that shape also. So there's something there again, frequency, right? If you use frequency on a disc and you put sand on this disc, it will form geometric patterns based on the frequencies. So again, you're reorganizing the water that's within you, perhaps in alignment with source, as opposed to the distortions that we currently find ourselves under. Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
man.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And also,
but wait, how long ago was this for your mom?
That's what I was trying to say. I think it was like maybe 15 to 10 years ago.
Okay. And so let's forward to now. Does she have thyroid problems now?
Not that I know of, no.
So it wasn't just a fluke. Like it's gone.
It's gone.
And does she still use this practice of charging her water still to this day or no?
Thank God my mother is a healthy 72-year-old woman. And so far, she didn't tell me that she did it again. And I think she's a healthy woman. I mean, she's fine. Thank God, blessings for that.
Yeah.
But not that I know of. She never used that again because she didn't need to.
Okay. I had this dream a couple of years back, and I don't have the slides in front of me here, but I dreamt of creating in my mind, and the words that came was a refraction chamber. And so this was kind of like Stonehenge, if you can imagine Stonehenge, like all the different monoliths in a circle, and you had the center slab. And there's different components of dolomite and quartzite in these structures. And the idea was that at each of these stone slabs around the circle, there would be a speaker facing inwards towards the middle slab, which of course a patient could just lie in or on the middle slab. And what these outdoor structures were doing was refracting the sound and amplifying the sound that is on the slab. And so you can adjust the frequencies to what you wanted and basically have the piezoelectric effect of these crystalline formations in the rock activate as well and boost those frequencies. Anyways, I've had this in my dreams to build this in my backyard for years now. And as you were talking about this, I'm like, ooh, could you imagine if I put a stone carved crystal bath in the middle as opposed to a slab and put water in that, and you go sit in that water while all of this, like, could you imagine? Like, I mean, people would travel around the world to try that thing.
I think what happens when you do that, I'm just getting like this download that when you have a certain like pattern and a certain sound, all the water in your body attunes to that. It's like the water is the tuner, right? Yeah. You tune the water, and that's the frequency that tunes your body. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty. And add light into that, light therapy into that, and that's.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you're okay. I'll show you the diagrams. So one, yes, you had the sound to it, but each in the column was also equipped with a very high-powered LED light that would also, through the use of programmers like DMX controllers, this is technology like for big fashion shows and stuff, where the computer changes the light frequency to match the sound frequency coming through the speakers. And so you could, for example, you could go through the solfeggio tones from your root chakra to your crown chakra in sequence. And so you would have the sounds matching the color that's hitting you inside this refraction chamber. So it was both things in my
love
design.
That. That's my language right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, could you imagine? Anyways, wow. I'll see if I can find the slides in my old email. Maybe I can bring them up on this slide here too. But for the next show, I'll show you guys what I was thinking about. And this was like a series of maybe 2.5, 3 months. These were automatic drawings. Like in daytime, I would just like, I'd be doing something and then suddenly pick up a pen, jot this down. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was doing these diagrams, and that's one of them. That's one of 6 or 7 inventions. And I all saw that.
See them.
Yeah, and I also saw that taking place here on the property because I've had a lot of psychics also talk about there's an energy field. A lot of they're tuning into this blue ribbon that's hitting somewhere here underneath the property and is attached to perhaps other ley lines and other sacred sites around the world. And the Native Americans here, they go to a specific spot in my I live on a 75-acre lot, and they go to this specific tree. They call it the grandfather tree, and they do all of this drumming there. So there's been activity here on the spiritual side for a long time, and perhaps maybe even thousands of years before us Canadians took over Canada, because we found like arrowheads and stuff that is predates by far even the history we're told here in this area too. So there's a lot of fascination there. Yeah, like I said, Laura says, yes, please share, JC. Okay, if I find them. Okay. While I try to look for those pictures, why don't you let us know here what's going on with your apparel and accessories?
Well, you recommended last show, we talked a little bit after the show, and you recommended that I also make some pillows. So I added some pillows. You can scroll down to find the pillows. I think they're somewhere in the menu.
Well, they're on the screen, no? Isn't that?
Oh, they're on the screen. Yep, that they are. And there's a bunch of them. And also, I am wearing one of my shirts right here. It's a yoga top. You can see it. There you go. And I have also, can I show? Like, I printed some stuff to show some people. These are the matching pants, yoga pants to the art. They're really nice and stretchy. And this, I have different samples here of different things. This is a men's tank top. It's so pretty. And they're really soft and beautiful. Can you see? And a t-shirt. Let's see. I'm really excited how awesome and soft and like they feel really good on the body. And they look just like my art. Like, it's amazing how clear and crystal clear it looks. Can you tell? It looks really good. And a kimono. So the kimonos are really nice in this jersey fabric. It's super soft. And I printed the one that actually has the text on it, the light language.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's really pretty.
Really cool.
Some samples. And then the last thing that I'm going to show is a purse. I really like this design, so I printed it a few times. I like it because it has like this alien ears. Can you see? It has like cat ears.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. So I feel like that's maybe it's my little higher self because it's tiny.
Baby person loves the pillows. All right, guys, go and support May here. Pick something, anything. There's so many cool things here on her product line. Again, with all of these high frequency graphics on them, absolutely amazing. Yeah, really.
I want to say that I had a guy from the last show that said, "What do they mean? I want an explanation." And I feel like a lot of the times we want to be told what something is. But in general, they're all healing codes in general, because I need to take time to actually write and sit down and channel on each one. And some of them already have the explanation, but not all of them. But in general, they're all light codes for healing. Like, it's all light language. It's all coming from a higher frequency to assist our healing and our body and to upgrade us. So in general, I want everybody to know that.
Mm-hmm.
So choose something that you like, that you resonate, like the color that you like, something that looks good to you and you feel that resonates with you. They're all just really activating and really fun and loving because it comes from a loving heart.
There you go. Well, that's awesome. I'm looking through my emails to see if I can find the refraction chamber notes, but wait.
Thank you, Sadie.
Yeah, very good. I don't think I have. Do I have the other original sketches? I don't think so. They're not on the desk there. They might be in my office. Okay, that'll be for next show. So you guys wanted to see that. It'll be for next show. That's interesting. Hey, Ben Thompson says, yeah, we need some Beyond Mystic merch. Well, wouldn't you know, Ben? I am working on that. We're doing this site upgrade for Beyond Mystic. There's quite a few features coming up. And yeah, there'll be a drop ship option for couple of cool things, t-shirts, caps, and stuff like that, yoga mats, whatever, with the Beyond Mystic logo. A lot of you guys have been asking for that. And also the silver coins and the silver bars pressed with the Beyond Mystic logo. That's coming also. I just spoke with Andy of Miles Franklin earlier today, and he's excited. He's about, I think he said he's 3 weeks out to be able to press these silver bars together for us. So that'll be really, really cool. All right. Okay, May, let's get back to water. Is there anything else you want to share? You sent me quite a few activation artwork here for water itself. Where do you want me to start with those?
Well, I want the email that I sent you. I wanted people to see what I give clients when I work with them. This is like a, you want to call it a deep intuitive healing woo-woo prescription.
Okay, I love it.
Instead of getting pills or, you know, like all those things that you get from Western medicine, you actually get art that has a frequency that heals. And it's one thing to do a session with me and I can release the energy for you and bring in light, but it's also, there's homework and you have to do the homework on your own as well to continue the healing. So I give people, before a session, about 30 minutes before I meet with someone, I tap into their field and I get a description of what's going on in their chakras. And then I'll get downloads. Sometimes they get 4 to 5 images like this with different instructions on how to use it and how to continue to work with it. What I sent you are the ones that are designed specifically for water. So this one that says place water bottle on the symbol for 90 days and drink that water for 90 days to open the throat and third eye. So the ones you can they're different symbolism. I think I sent you a few.
Okay, hold on a second here. Let's do this one.
Yeah, and they're really coded. Like a lot of the symbols keep showing up again and again. And I find that some of these are codes for meridians. Like I one time channeled that these little, it's hard for me to point what it looks like, but there's these little symbols that are like 2 lines and a line that comes across it, which I believe represents meridians. So this is almost like a map of the frequency of the body and how attuned to different chakras that it's supposed to be healing.
Okay, let me move to the next one here.
Place water on the symbol for 90 days. This will balance throat, heart, and third eye. I noticed that people that, let's say their third eye is blocked, it's normally associated also with the heart, which is going to be our activation today, by the way. But a lot of throat, third eye, and heart come up a lot. And if somebody actually needs healing for the lower chakras, it's connected to their root, their sacral, and their solar plexus. It's like different groups. It's quite interesting.
Okay, let me see this one here.
This will assist with heart balance. Place water on the symbol and drink the water for 90 days and release with gratitude. Yeah, I guess 3 months. You know, it's keep repeating. I'm noticing that's repeating 3 months. And maybe coincidentally with my mother that she drank water for 3 months and it healed her. And here I see also 3 months. So maybe 3 months is the length of time in order for transformation with vibration and with symbolism to actually take effect.
Yeah. Okay. And then
that's just this will help with inflammation in the heart. Place water bottle on the symbol for 90 days and then release with gratitude.
Inflammation in the heart. There's a lot of that going on right now because of the thingy. So that could be helpful for a lot of people, for sure. Print that out and give that to your family, especially young men, apparently from 25 to 35 years old, suffering from this right now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. And that's all we'll say about that. Next one.
This is for the heart chakra. Place water bottle on the symbol for 90 days. You know what? I have never noticed that when I do because these are for different clients, and I never noticed the pattern of the 90 days. I am noticing the 3 months thing right now. This is really interesting because I talked about my mom. So this is just something that I'm noticing right now with you guys. So I guess it's significant, the 90 days, if you want to heal a part of your body through frequency. I think that's the key as far as time and length.
Yeah. And finally this one.
Also 90 days. Drink water that has been charged on the symbol for 90 days. This will balance sacral chakra and throat and third eye.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I found a few pictures, not my hand drawings, but if you guys want, I'll share with you what this refraction chamber looks like. and some of the source material, or the material I was trying to source to actually build this a couple of years ago. And I can, if you guys want, I'll share the story of what happened and why it has yet to come to be. So I'll look at the chat here and see if you guys actually want to hear the story. All right. May, what's going on with your booking calendar right now? Where do you have any spots left available here for 2021? What can clients expect here
for 2021? No, we're in February. No, we're in February, and I think that places are filling up right now. Mid to maybe I have a little bit in January still. I don't really know what's going on there. I know that I've been booking people mainly from February right now. Yeah, that's what I have available, guys.
Okay.
But it'll be worth it to book now, so you won't have to wait longer.
Right. So again, intuitive, deep. Intuitive.
Oh, also, if you guys decide to book, I recommend that you book 2 sessions at least. So if you do need more sessions with me, you don't have to wait. Like what's happening right now with clients, they booked 1 session and then I told them that they need more. They want to continue the journey with me. And then now I have to book them in February.
Right.
So like if you decide to book, you can always cancel 2 days before the session. So if you want to book and you want to see if you want to work with me, just book them just in case. And then you can cancel if you don't want to take those sessions, which is totally fine with me.
Okay. Let me see if I can add a few pictures to the queue here to kind of show you the sequence of what's going on. And then some of this. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of yes in the chat. So people are interested in this. And again, this whole idea was about sound healing, frequency healing. And I had another site, and this is perhaps me in my vision, where I had this basically a crystal bath. So basically like a quartz, like a 7-ton quartz stone that's dug into a bath, and you would do ceremony in that bath with water. So maybe in my mind, I saw them as 2 separate things, but maybe they're supposed to be in that same thing. My mind went to the idea, it's a slab that's in the middle of the refraction chamber, but it could just as well have been the bath. And I thought it was 2 different inventions I was thinking about.
Did you dream this, or you actually have a crystal bath?
No, this is part of the automatic writing when I got downloads on how to build this stuff and why it was important to do that.
Sign me up. I want to be in that bathtub. Oh my God.
Okay. Just the other day, let me see if I can find this.
What a dream.
Stone. I saw something the other day, and it's like $1 million bath. This one here. So wait, can you guys see that? No. Let me bring that up. So I believe this is jade.
Oh
this is from a millionaire's
God.
house. They had this huge, like effing jade cut into a bath, and this is $1.2 million. For all you people who have crypto money, you might want to buy a bath like this and do some sound frequency healing with you. Could you imagine?
I feel like this was old time bathing. I feel like this exists, and I think it exists on different stars for sure. And it would be amazing if we could even build our streets that way. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I saw this image too. I'm like, oh, that's very similar to what my dream was. And at that time, I didn't know it existed. But if you think of all these secret societies and all these people who have money around the world, of course they have this. Do you remember maybe a couple of years ago was Lady Gaga? She showed a picture of one of her meditation room, and she had this humongous, like 3-ton crystal, like quartz crystal that she was meditating on. I'm like, of course they know how.
Oh my God. And just imagine you're putting hot spring water in there, natural hot spring water.
Well, that was the other thing too. Yeah, the water is very important. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a bath made out of shungite.
That too, yeah. You can just imagine. Or you could have, if you were really rich, you could have a bath with all the different color spectrums for each of your chakras. So you can do like a 7-day cleanse and each day use a different crystal bath.
Different crystal. Oh my God.
Crypto money.
Yeah. Wow, that would be amazing. By the way, I want to share a story about a bath experience that I had when we're talking about baths right now. When I had my Kundalini awakening and things started to be shown to me in different ways. And I already started working with my voice, and I was working not even with light language at the time. I was just working with my overtone singing, my throat singing. And I was guided to do a lot of baths because I was releasing a lot of energy, a lot of energy. So every day I was almost like bathing in a bath with like my salt, with my Epsom salt, and really just clearing a lot of stuff. So at one point, the energy was guiding me to overtone sing in the water. So I would do that. I would start overtone singing. And as I'm lying in the water, I'm guided to put my ears in the water while I'm doing these sounds, and then guided to put my ears up of the water. It's almost like telling me, can you hear it up here when there's sound traveling in air? Or can you hear it when your sound is traveling in the water? And the sound underneath the water was way louder than it is when I'm overtone singing in the air. And I've always wanted to do this, and I haven't really gotten to it. I kind of want some help. So I don't know if people that are watching it can come and assist me with this. I'm trying to figure out how I can do these activations with the same sound that I hear underwater. You put a speaker, do you put a recorder underwater? How do you make that happen, that the frequency that I'm transmitting in the sound is traveling through water? So that's something that I've been thinking about, because I think that's where the medicine is, because what I'm learning is that the sound and the water is the fastest way to heal the body, and probably the earth too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I also think about whales being like the shamans of the water, because they go really deep underwater with their sound and with their singing. And I always wonder if they're actually doing work like shamans of the ocean to heal the bottom of the ocean, the earth of the ocean, with the sound as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just thoughts that I have.
So, all right, I've got a few pictures and people saying, okay, story time, JC. All right. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Lakeside Laura, and something. Tell us about your resonance chamber, JC. Okay. So let me see if I can bring this up. So let me mind this crystal bath here. Let me go here. So this is just, okay, the first picture I'm going to show you is not my picture. I'm still looking for the ones where I did my drawings. I don't think they're on this computer, but this will give you an idea. I had put together, because again, I was working with this mine from Northern Ontario, where they do mine dolomite quartz crystals in like huge monolithic shapes, but they don't sell to the public, just so you know. They only sell to military contractors. And you're like, why is that? Why does the military want crystals? Anyways, that's a fascinating story in and of itself, but not for tonight. So at any rate, I was trying to show the contractors, and I had this deal going where I could source some of this material to do what I wanted. And so I put a picture together of what I thought in my mind could look like. So this wasn't site somewhere in the world, and I just happened to put a slab in the middle to show you what I was looking for. So it kind of looks like this.
Wow.
Take this, right? So you would have these monolithic in a circle around the center slab. Okay, so think again, Stonehenge, whatever. So I saw this very clearly in the automatic drawings. I got the dimensions; they were very important. The angles of the stone, like all of this, came to me in this automatic writing thing. And so at the base of all of these, there would be these speakers and these huge, powerful LED lights that would basically refract. Basically, if you work, I don't have a picture of it. It would create a toroidal field of refracting sound, light, and energy in the center. So if you think of a toroid, this is what the structure would do, and it would just amplify everything in the middle. So it would be like a crazy, like if you've gone to a singing bowl sound bath, like you have. Like imagine that, but on steroids. And so if you're on the stone also, which is crystal, you would have that frequency vibrate through the slab, through your bones, like you would be matching or in tune with each of those frequencies at a level that perhaps you had never experienced before. So that was my idea, or the vision that I got. So let me see if I can.
When are we going?
Yeah, exactly.
When are we doing this?
So this is the site where this is supposed to be. And I also know, so I know where the site was. So not only did I get the dimensions and all of this stuff, but I knew where on my property I'm supposed to put it. And there's a reason why it's supposed to be there. And so this is the site. So right now I had tiki torches up there. This is Sarah, of course, doing some healing energy. But you could tell there's already a lot of frequencies hitting this particular ground. And in this picture here, this is the same site again before we put up, because I put the tiki torches where I'm supposed to put these monoliths. So I was just planning on the ground with my sketches to see if it would all fit. But this is before that. We had, so basically I cleared this area knowing that I would build here. And as I was clearing the brush, I had this huge voice in my head, go in your house, you're in danger. And I'm like, okay. It was a beautiful sunny day. And as I was getting that message, I could hear Sarah was screaming. She was running towards us. And she says, guys, you have to come in. I'm like, what's going on? She says, there's a huge black storm coming. So I'm like, oh, well, it's nice and sunny. We couldn't see it from here because of all of the trees. So as we walk back to the house, within minutes, I shit you not, and I have a video of this, there's a tornado that forms right on this site, and there's this huge lightning bolt that hits the middle of it. Okay? So as soon as that's over, I have in my head, go take a picture of the site. And so I went, and this was the resulting picture. It looks like a portal, a door, basically to someplace else right here on this site.
Wow.
So
this is in your home?
Yes, on the property. And so anyways, I've told this story a few times. I don't think I've ever said it on this YouTube channel. I might have done it on the first one before it was deleted. At any rate, so there's a lot of energy going through this particular site. If you want to go there and meditate, there's another tree here that's very powerful as well. That it'll talk to you. You'll hear it right away. It's very fascinating. Okay, so where is everybody in the chat? Yeah, what? Yeah, exactly. Like you can again, and Sarah and the kids are like, Dad, there's like a little mini tornado right on top of that. So something galvanized. This is the way I got the meaning of it afterwards. I was trying to realize, well, what just happened? So it was like an as above, so below. Again, don't forget, a lot of psychics have come here, a lot of Native Americans, and they believe there's this weird energy below the property. So something came from the top and from the bottom and met on this site. So it's in preparation for what's to come. Now, next part of the story. And I say preparation for what's to come. This here was supposed to be, and I say supposed to be, some of those dolomite crystals that were coming to my property. I had sourced these. And this is about a 7-hour drive away from where I am currently. And we drove up there, Sarah and I, to go and finish the deal and basically survey all of these monoliths. They call them fingers that they had dug up for us. And so anyways, we make the drive over there. And when we got there, they were no longer there. So the guy at the mine had sold them to somebody else. I'm like, mother effer, we just drove 7 hours. You could have just told me the day before, hey, don't bother making. Like, you knew I was coming. What the hell just happened? So somebody intervened somewhere and took these crystals for themselves. So why, who, I never knew. And anyways, it kind of turned to shit that year. And Sarah and I was like, man, we had done all of this work already, all the prep work. I had rented the huge cranes because these are a couple of tons each, right? So you need heavy equipment to move this, put it into place. Like I had done all of this pre-work for the site. And at that point, I didn't know if it was just for me or if it was going to be open for the public. I just knew I had to build it. And somebody said earlier, build it and they will come, like in that movie. So
I'm wondering if there was, crystals are very specific and crystals have their own like mind, right? And if maybe there's different crystals that are trying to reach you.
Maybe that, but really at that point, and Sarah was tuning into, it was nefarious. Like they had been sent someplace else so that we wouldn't get them at that time. It could very well be that they'll come back to me, just so you know, and we have this inkling that it might. But also, as we were reading into this, we understood that we were too early, that we could not build what we wanted to build at that time. Maybe now, 2022, the energy is completely different. We're now into the Aquarius age. So at this point, we might have been too early with that here for the planet. So
how many years ago was it?
Do I have a year on this picture? 2018.
Oh, okay.
So we had started this probably 2017 with all the excavation, blah, blah, blah. And then here, 2018, like at the beginning, spring, this might have been here just as the roads were opening. So yeah. 2017, 18. It was the time.
Divine timing. Yeah, divine timing.
Yeah. I can't show you this one. What I'll do, I'll show you. So as part of this I was, I don't even know what to call it. I called it the Trinity of Self-Mastery, by the way, because there's 3 main sites. This monolith is just one of them, the refraction chamber. So there was 3 stations that you would go to in a sequence, in a very specific sequence, basically to heal yourself and to become a higher version of yourself. That's what this site will eventually do if I do build it. But there was another section in there that had this massive crystal chair. Okay. And the chair is the last part. So there is the first part. This is the second. The round thing I just showed you, the refraction, is the second part. No, actually, hold on.
Sounds like a throne more than like a chair.
Yeah. Okay, so let me backtrack. Again, I'm sorry I don't have my handwritten notes, because I would share that on the screen. You'd see exactly the whole site layout and what it does. But essentially, this is the healing one. It's the first one. Then the second one has to do with a crystal skull. It's a knowledge transfer. And then the third one in this pilgrimage, this Trinity of Self-Mastery, is the crystal chair. Now, we actually found the crystal chair. And let me see if I can bring this up for you here. Or at least an example of one. And again, this is also all crystal. So this is quartzite. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. And so I would have made it a little bit nicer, but at any rate, at one point here, when I was sitting on that thing, it cut me. So it's like, I was like, oh, it took my DNA, but it looks, you know, that movie, Superman, when he goes into the North Pole and he throws that crystal, and then this huge like crystal structure comes out of the ground. It's his house, you know. Anyways, this place that we were at, where of course they only sell to the military, was so fascinating because.
Wait, they only sell this crystal to the military?
Yeah, they don't sell to the public.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not
right?
weird. It's not weird.
No, it's not weird.
What are they doing there?
Right. Well, so Sarah and I spent, I don't know, maybe an hour in this mine, but for us, it felt like 2 days. Like the whole place is time warped. It's so weird. I can do a whole show on everything that happened.
Where is it?
I'll just say it's in Northern Ontario.
Oh, okay.
And it's very close to a very famous magic waterfall. Again, lots of stories of Native Americans up there using the dolomite to heal people. So they knew about the properties of this particular crystal here. And in my design, there's dolomite and quartzite, which, by the way, is also lined inside the Grand Pyramids in Egypt.
Wow.
So why were they using dolomite and quartzite there as well? Again, and I didn't know of this at all when I was writing, and I got the word dolomite. I had no idea what they were. Quartzite, I didn't know what it was either. So anyways, fascinating stuff. So at some point, and maybe it's 2022, I don't know, but our hearts were broken because we were really close to manifesting this huge megalithic structure. And of course, somebody took them away at the last minute. And I was just like, we said, universe decided it's not time. So I don't know when the time is going to be, or if we're still even on a timeline where this is possible on the planet. I don't know yet. And somebody
I love you a little bit more right now, knowing that you even wanted to make that structure. I think I love you just like this much more, that you even thought about doing that. That's insanely brilliant.
Well, thank you.
Wow. No, like for a minute there, everybody in the crowd, like for one moment, respect. Like, it's amazing.
And you know, we were this close to making it happen. And just so you know, those quartzite, those are a few tons each. They're expensive, but I was willing to do it. I was so driven to do it, and I found a way to make this happen. Again, aligning up everybody to make this happen, to move these things.
I feel it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I think
it's coming. Maybe in 2022. I just feel like the crystals maybe needed to work with that other whoever got it, and maybe there's different crystals or bigger ones or better ones or more powerful ones that are on your way.
Right.
On the way to you.
Because one of the guys I was dealing with is like, oh, well, JC, you know, shit happens, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, you don't understand the spiritual war that is behind all of this. Like, this guy is just a guy that moves rocks, right? So I hired a guy who knows how to move like huge tons. And he's like, well, you don't need dolomite or quartzite. Like, let me just get you some granite or something like that. We can get that in Kingston, Ontario, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, you don't understand. It's okay. Thank you very much for your help. We'll get this to work at some point if it does in the future. And Sarah and I kind of just left it at that. And yeah.
Wow, what a story.
It's just fucking nuts because, again, some of the ceremonies that happen on this property, especially with the native tribes, when they come here and they do drumming, the visions and the apparitions that come through here is, again, through the roof. There's a lot of energy here. I don't know how else to explain it. And at some point I was like, well, do I even want to do this? Like, do I want to have like strangers in my backyard? Like, am I going to be able to live here when I do this? Or this is going to be like, you know what I mean? And you know what's funny on all of this too? There's another group of remote viewers, TI, Technical Institute, or I forget how they're called now. Not the crypto viewing guys that are on my channel, but anyways, they remote viewed my chair at the same time as I did. Oh, that I might have here. Actually, I might have the drawing.
The crystal chair?
Yeah, hold on. Chair design. See if I have that in email, because I can show you the comparison. I might wait. Crystal chair. Let me try this again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing this live. But what happened was, yeah, I might have it here. Let me see, or maybe I don't. Clips. Okay, wait. Remote viewers. Is this the right email? Ah, okay, I got some. Actually, I have the notes. Okay, you guys are gonna freak out. Okay, save. And now where's his chair? Let me see here. Sorry, guys. I have to find his. Like, so I'll show you my design and then what these guys remote viewed. And you're going to be like, oh, dude, like, how'd you come up with that? And they were like, dude, how'd you come up with that? I'm like, I don't know. But we were seeing the same thing at the same time. Come on, where is it?
Isn't that amazing that when that happens, that you know that like the information, you just have to grab it and like you can see the same things with other people. It's amazing when that happens.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sorry, I can't see all the comments in the chat. Awesome. Love these kinds of discussions. Thank you, Smiling Eyes. Okay, let me go back now. I have 2 more pictures that I can show you. Downloads. This one here. So let me bring that up. Okay. You guys see that? Oh, no, wait. Hold on. So this is a side view. So this is not the refraction chamber. This is the other, again, with monoliths, but it's a different construction, completely different, and also different composites. So it's very different.
Is this drawn through automatic writing, or is this you? Like, is this just like?
It's me being told, sit down and write this thing up. And I'm just like drawing it. Okay. This is the side view of the chair. You know, it kind of looks like a Muskoka chair, one of those camp chairs, like from the angles. You know what I mean? This would be a top view of the chair here. And there's very specific crystal placements. Right where you would put your hands, like on the armrest, you have crystals in your hands. There's 2 crystals you don't see in this picture here, but right at your feet. So your feet sit. So whatever pressure point it is, there's 2 crystals pushing through your feet. And then you have these crystals on the back that line up with your chakras. Okay?
This is incredible.
Right. So this is also in a circle, a monolithic circle, similar to the refraction chamber, but again here, just amplifying the energy of the chair. And so you would sit on this chair, and this is the 3rd part in the Trinity of Self-Mastery, using this chair to basically catapult. And we can do a whole show on that and explain what that is. But let me now bring up these remote viewers who picked up the chair. Wait a second, where did you go? Hold on, I think it's this one here. You're gonna be blown away. So you remember how my chair looks like a Muskoka chair? Bring it back from the side view here, and you have these crystals like on the back. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Look at the remote viewer's chair.
Oh my God.
And they also, like, they drew
Look
this.
Look at the hands. Where the hands are, they also have like light.
Right.
Yeah,
And
just like
and
you
then when
described.
so it's Brett. Brett is the guy's name here. And do I have his website? Technical Intuition. Okay, that's it. I said TI earlier, Technical Institute, but it's Technical Intuition, remote viewer guys. And they were a team looking at this pyramidal structure, and there's pyramids involved in my thing as well. And so anyways, they came up with this chair, and they described the function of the chair, which is exactly my notes of my function of the chair too. So we were both kind of remote viewing this thing, or at least I wasn't remote viewing it. I was getting an automatic download to write it down, whereas these guys were remote viewing a specific location.
Wow.
And I asked him about the blue things. He says, well, we don't know. It was like crystalline. Like that's an artist who made it for us to kind of, you know, make it nice for our video type of thing. But he says, you're right. There's all these crystals, and there's this top crystal, like the golden stuff you see on top here. Now in my chair, and again, I don't have the
Wait,
other.
so he remote viewed it,
Yeah.
not knowing, like it's just something that he saw, so he made it like a reality through graphic design.
Yeah, so they also wrote this by hand, and he had shared with me his hand drawings looked a lot like mine. And then he said, hey, can we have a graphic designer like put this so it's like more alive for us to do the video for their audience? And that's the chair they came up with.
Wow.
So at any rate, they also came up with, this was in part an ascension chair, if you want to call it that way. I'll try to get Brett on the on
I love
him
that.
again.
Can I get myself an ascension chair?
I
I'll levitate from it. From there, you're just going up.
But here's the thing, though. I have in my notes, and every single I believe every single remote viewer on his team also that remote viewed this thing, they all said the same thing, and I said the same thing. God forbid you're not at a high frequency because you cannot sit on this chair. It will kill you. God forbid if you try to sit on this chair and you're coming with ill intention. It will kill you. So this is not for the cabals used to, you know, further enslave humanity. No.
Wow,
It's completely
it's that
the opposite.
intense that it would actually kill someone if they're not in the right frequency?
Yes, and the site is designed that way too. So, and it's funny.
Wonder if it can remove, like you sit on the chair, and if somebody's that dark and carrying that much darkness and density, things start flying out of their mouth.
Dude, Brett and I, when we had this conversation, we said the same thing. We said, well, it could kill you, but if you're a dark person and you wanted to turn to the light, but you know how, you know, there are people who are dark, but they're close to the light, right? And then there's I won't even name names, but like really, really dark people, right? He says those people, if they wanted to come to the light, but because they're so damaged and so there's very little light left, if they had the good intention, they could probably sit on this chair, and basically it would kickstart them on this path back to the light. Like it would be for it would be for the worst of the worst of the worst humans. You might be able to push them back to the light using this chair. And again, the risk of you going back to galactic sun, central sun would be very high. Most likely you would still die. But anyways,
you know, I have like this
I'll try to
question,
get Brett back on the line here, and we'll do it.
There's a question that I have when you're talking about this is like, people are born. Are there actual people that are born evil or bad? Or is there people that are born that wasn't loved and they had entities come in them and take over? This is a good question. For me, when I'm receiving, it's all entity stuff. Because let's say you take a dog and a dog has been abused, that abused dog is probably going to bite you. The same with human beings. Anyways, not that this is the subject, but I always think about that. Anyway, just a thought.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can find some other graphics here, because you were missing. Okay. I'm missing the crown piece because I had another picture. You see how he had this weird thing on top here? He said it was moving crystals. These crystals were moving in his remote viewing, the golden part here. Well, on my chair too, on some of my notes that are detailed a little bit closer to this, like the second or third page into it, because like each site that I was downloading had multiple pages of detail from different angle views and all that. But I had this huge crown crystal that was like basically a cluster of crystals that looked like that. That was the crown one. So it was like a multiple antenna at the crown chakra on this chair. And these things would protrude, and there was two. I don't have the other back view of this chair. Let me go back here. So you see how basically these crystals would line up with your chakras?
Mm-hmm.
There was two very pointy. This chair is not comfortable, just so you know. There's two very pointy ones that would hit you between les omoplates in French. Your shoulder blades. Like right in that corner between each shoulder blades, you would have 2 points there that would almost penetrate your skin. So between those two, the one in your feet, in your hands, it's not a comfortable place, but it's like using pressure points and connecting you with the chair. The chair is also, I won't say it, but the chair Sarah was sitting on the other one was that material also. So anyways, it's okay, let me go back.
I'm envisioning so many things with this chair right now, like making it with light therapy, not just having the stones like on your chakras, but actually having light therapy on them. And somehow, because of the subject of this this show is water, I wonder how water can enhance the healing or the ascension, you know, to bring you into the higher frequency, how water could play out in that chair technology.
Oh, so technically it doesn't happen in the chair. It has, okay, so in this Trinity of Self-Mastery part, the water comes way before the chair. Because at every corner of this pilgrimage, you either pass or you fail, and you cannot move to the other sites on or the other structures on the site until you pass the first one. And so the water is one of the first ones. There's two in that first area, including the refraction chamber, and then there's the crystal skull thing too, which is, again, you can't get to it if you don't do the purification part first, and the water is part of it. Like, so there's that crystal tub thing, kinda. Again, I was like, I'm just crazy, like I just,
I love the crazy. I love it. This is right up my alley.
Right. So I was just like, I drew all this stuff up, and then here's the thing too, like, who was it? I think it's Lalita. Lalita is a galactic shaman astrologer. Forget what her title is. Amazing woman. Her insights are through the roof. But she's an astrologer, but she comes at it from a very galactic point of view. And when she drew my chart of my birth chart, and I lined it up with the geometry of the site that I was building here, like it matched perfectly. And she says, do you realize, JC, that your birth chart matches the diagram and the layout of what you're putting on the ground here?
Wow.
Again, like, you can't make that shit up. It was so amazing. And if I find her diagrams, I'll share that in the next show.
Put that on merch. Put the diagram on merch.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's pretty surreal. But even me, like, drawing all this stuff, I knew I had to build it. I knew someday I will build it. Or put it this way, I might have already built it. Right? So what the remote viewers are looking at could be in a future where I've built the site. But they weren't sure about that. They actually said that site already exists, and the one I'm building would be like a training site to go to this other one when this other one is actually unveiled to humanity, or words to that effect. Again, I'll try to get Brett back on the screen and see if he remembers. But it was fascinating stuff. At any rate, I thought I was crazy, but when I saw these guys, it just happened that I was watching a YouTube video. I wasn't looking at crystal chairs or anything like that, and I'm into remote viewing. And then he started talking about, oh yeah, we saw this site, we didn't know what it was, and he's showing me the chair. He was showing like the chair in the video. I contacted him. I'm like, dude, I got the same chair. Look at my notes from way back when. Like, where do you guys see this? Anyways, fascinating story.
Wow, I'm so curious what the evolution of this is going to be like, because you just birthed something into reality where another person picked up on it. So it means that there's something here that has to be expressed and worked with, right?
Yeah.
So
Ben says New Mexico, and no, it's not in New Mexico. It's actually very, very cold where the site currently is, or where the remote viewers think it is. It's not New Mexico. It's the opposite. That's all I'll say. But it's not New Mexico for sure. No. Wow. Alrighty.
So as far as location, you feel like it needs to be where you live. Like that's as far as like where it needs to be built. And there's some kind of code that in the location, the land where you live is activating for that technology.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
And a few remote viewers and psychics told me that that technology is already here. And so it's perhaps deep underground. And this is why some of these weird energy light formations come up. I showed you one of the portal maybe 2 shows ago where Sarah's sitting on, and you can see those like violet flames. There's a lot of stuff weird in this area. I guess that's all I'll say. But when this happened to this lightning thing that kind of galvanized some energy here too, for that week after, maybe 2 weeks after, we kept getting black helicopters flying right over the site. And Sarah and I were looking like, what the fuck are they doing there? Like, we never have any helicopters on our property. Like, we're nowhere close to any like airports or anything like that. And they were just like circling, basically long, lazy circles around the property. So we were like, okay. So something,
I wonder if this
picked
technology...
up on a radar somewhere, basically, when that portal opened. Let me see if I can find that picture again.
I wonder if you have this technology, if it can disable some other technology or the other chair, whatever it is that exists out there, if it can disable a dysfunction because it's so powerful with the vibration. I don't know, or else why would you have helicopters? That's interesting.
Yeah, and again, a few people came back to me. I was sharing with at the time, and they're like, "Yeah, it's something blipped on the radar. Somebody picked this up, and I don't know." And perhaps that's why the crystals didn't make it to me at this point. Was it that type of intervention? Was it good intervention? Again, too, I wouldn't be surprised there was good intervention in the sense that it just wasn't time. I was just too early with it. I don't know. And the other thing about the site too, which again, the remote viewers got the same thing. I wrote in my thing that the site doesn't work unless you are with people who love you. And you're like, what do you mean? Okay, so if you were to happen to walk upon this site alone, it's not activated. And it just looks like a bunch of rocks that do absolutely nothing. But there's a specific part in the structure here where your families and loved ones have to stand, sit, or whatever formation they are, and they have to send love energy through the center of this particular site. And I won't show you what's in the center of it. And that powers up the whole site. So again, you can't use it for ill. And if these people are not pushing up enough of this love frequency, the site won't even activate for you. So you have to be with people who love you, who realize you're of service to others, who are earnest, honest in this particular attempt. Like, the site will recognize it. And on that note,
isn't that a teacher for everything, right? To really manifest and to really make things heal on a collective scale, that when we come together in love and unity and that vibration of fifth dimensional consciousness, big shifts can happen.
Yeah. Do you know Doreen Dotan?
No.
Okay. She's from Israel.
Let
me bring this video on the screen. I'll bring the link down for the audience. I talked about this 2-3 times already in the last 2 weeks, including with Janine. But I'll email this to you also so you can watch this after the show. In this video here, this is a week ago, September 23rd, 2 weeks ago, she was saying that basically revised laws of nature are now into effect. Let me remove this comment here so you guys can see the title there. There you go. Okay. And she's saying that Earth, the elements, the structures of Earth no longer will be prostituted for ill use. So as before, where the deep state, the Kabbalah, whatever you want to call them, could use the ley lines and all this stuff to their advantage, how they put banks and structures and using the energy of the planet, gold and silver, all this stuff to enslave everybody else. There's been a shift that's happening right now, and they no longer have access to that. And what is implied here is that humans who are for freedom, for truth, for honesty, for love, like that frequency, they now have access to the elements and basically Earth itself. It will work in unison with us now. And she was talking about La Palma, the volcano, being an example now of what the earth will do if you come at it with ill intention, or ill intention towards the organic habitants of the planet. Anyways, she's absolutely deep into the occult. I've been watching her for years.
She looks really familiar. I would like to see this.
Yeah, I'll email it to you. And folks, again, it's in the live chat now, the link. Let me do that one more time in case you guys missed it here. Go check that out. Perhaps we can interview her at some point. She's absolutely amazing. And so this is why also I thought, when I saw this recently and it just clicked to me, I'm like, oh, maybe it wasn't time for the elements yet, or these new laws of nature hadn't been put in place yet for me to build this thing. And maybe now it is. I don't know. Or
maybe now the frequency of the earth is actually rising, right? Because the earth is also rising in vibration. So maybe it would actually work right now.
Yeah.
If you had that technology.
Maybe. Well, May, we're an hour 10 in the show, and you and I thought we were going to do a small show tonight because we didn't know what we were going to talk about. Imagine that. So folks, did you like the show tonight? If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button here on my third backup channel here on YouTube. Hey, I'm growing. I was going to say, I'm not exactly where I was the last time they took me down, but we're getting close to those numbers. So you guys, if you like my content, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to rebuild that community. And at the same time, hey, where's May? Wait, May's here.
I'm right here. I'm here.
There you go. You're right there. So check out May at deepintuitivehealing.com, and you can also find her amazing artwork on Instagram at LightScribeArt. And of course, last but not least, before you go tonight, please do go pick up something in the shop here. There's amazing products, and of course,
it's my birthday tomorrow.
And it's her birthday. Come on, even better.
Tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. You can support May, give her a little bit of birthday gift, and also by supporting her and buying a nice gift, maybe for your loved ones here for Christmas. And of course, we're seeing all of these weird things happening around the world, and we don't want to support the Amazons and all this stuff for Christmas. So if you can support the Mays and the May Levies of the world, why not, right? So give it a try, folks. All right. So everybody says, hey, wow, thank you. Great show. Thank you, guys. I love you.
Thank you so much.
This was, hold on, let me bring it up. Man, I'm so confused tonight. All these energy, just talking about this, you can tell how animated I am, because this was profound to me, this whole, there's more to that story too. I know we could probably do another 2-hour show on this. But anyways, thank you everyone for listening to my story and for being, I guess, passionate about it, and maybe being inspired by my story to also do your own creation in your backyard to help humanity here. So anyways, this was Intuitive Healing with May Levy, and I think I'm off for the next day or two. I've got some contractors working on my house. I'm going to be working outside a little bit, and I'll be back Monday, I think. All right, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.